As I've been watching Stranger Things, I had to stop and ask Spirit, why does 11 as well as Will's nosebleed anytime they tap into their powers? So then I heard Spirit loud and clear, and Spirit said power costs energy. I'll say it again so it penetrates your soul. Power costs energy. Bleeding for the nose is not just for shock value, it's actually symbolism. Blood is the life force. But then I heard Spirit say, any power that you use without balance will build your body after a while. The nose is sitting between the physical brain as well as the energetic brain. It's the bridge between your logic and your highest perception. So the symbolism behind it is putting pressure on your third eye. It's basically what happens when it's too much current and not enough balancing, not enough grounding. Every nosebleed is like a spiritual transaction. Will and 11 is paying for power with their blood and their breath, the life force. When the show first started and I heard the name Vecna, I already knew it was going to be a lot of symbolism. Vecna represents corrupted spiritual sight. That's power gained through force instead of mastery. The eye of Vecna is distorted perception. This is when you begin to see everything through fear, through dominion and control. As a lot of y'all may know, not all sight is wisdom. Some of it is actually possession. We could take Will, for instance. He did not wake up to his gifts through peace or meditation. Because if I recall, he had to go through some trauma. You know, that upside down. The upside down is what actually forced his abilities. Will is a true representation of what we see in everyday life because if you think about it, most people do not awaken through comfort. Most people awaken through survival. And this is why I tell my clients, if you truly ready to shift, get fed up. When you truly get fed up is when you really gonna make that change. Not a second sooner. Pain is the most aggressive spiritual teacher. The upside down, that is not just some scary ass world. That represents the shadow self. Think of it as like the subconscious or the suppressed realm. This is what I gathered from Stranger Things. If you do not go to that upside down, you will never tap into your true power. Let me tell you something else. You ain't gonna activate no gifts without facing fears. You absolutely cannot heal without walking through that darkness from which you come from. You're not gonna meet your power in that light. You know where you gonna meet it? In them shadows. You know another thing that I paid attention to in the show? What the kids could see at first, the adults couldn't. And the reason for that is these babies are closer to the veil. They're closer to the spiritual world, way more tapped in than adults. The children haven't been fully programmed out of their perception just yet. Programming is what actually blinds the adults. Imagination is what keeps kids spiritual. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to pause on that. One more time so it could penetrate your soul. Programming is what blinds the adults. Imagination is what keeps kids spiritual. Stranger Things is telling us every human has dormant abilities, intuition, energy sensitivity, manifestation, psychic awareness, mediumship, clairsentient, clairaudience, clair empaths, dreamers. I could go on and on. The real truth is activation requires pressure. It requires disruption. It requires you going into the parts where most people going to avoid. Children sometimes they have nightmares. They fear monsters. But you know what adults fear? Themselves. Their own awakening. Accountability. Going to the upside down. Evan and Will don't bleed because they weak. They bleed because nobody ever taught them how to hold their power safely. A lot of y'all bleeding energetically for the same exact reasons. Y'all know what I'm going to say. Know thyself and remember who you are. As soon as you start remembering, you're going to be just like Will on episode 4. I enjoyed the show, but I definitely enjoy the messages more. I get in them comments and let me know your thoughts. Peace, love, and light, and gratitude for watching.